In just a minute, I'll show you the only really haunted house in the world. Only the ghosts in this house are glad we're here.
A pitch-black night conceals sinister deeds.
Each guest, from psychiatrist to typist, I wanted kind of a cross-section. They share one thing, they all need money.
And you call this a party?
Of all my wives, you're the least agreeable.
But still alive. And you call this a party?
Could be. Could be. Would you go away for $1 million? Would you go away for $1 million? Of all my wives, you're the least agreeable.
But still alive. this is maddening.
Tax-free. Would you go away for $1 million? Tax-free. Tax-free.
If jealousy isn't tax-free, your possessiveness is maddening. Why all these strangers? Why none of our friends? Your possessiveness is maddening.
I wanted kind of a cross-section. Arsenic on the rocks. You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me? You remember the fun we had when you poisoned me? Arsenic on the rocks. Don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you, darling. Don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you, darling.
Darling, the only ghoul in the house is you.
And the only door to the outside locks like a vault. Don't let the ghosts and the ghouls disturb you, darling. Of all my wives, you're the least agreeable. And the only door to the outside locks like a vault. The windows have bars that...
The ghosts are already moving, and that's a bad sign.
But once the door is locked, there's no way out.
The ghosts are already moving, and that's a bad sign.
I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost. You just press down on this lever. We have some...
And 3 women.
I think everyone wonders what they would do if they saw a ghost.
4 men have been... 4 men have been murdered in this house.
We have some party favors for you.
And 3 women.
You planned your part?
And 3...
I think everyone wonders what...
And 3 women.
You just press to pull the trigger. I suppose you all know how to use one of these things, but in case you don't, pull the trigger.
She's dead, mister. She's dead, Mr. Lauren.
You really believe in your pet ghost suicide?
She's dead, Mr. Lauren. Your wife hanged herself.
Suicide.
When we last were at the house on Haunted Hill, we were introduced to Mr. Warren, an eccentric millionaire, and the strangers who he has invited to spend one night locked in a haunted house, after which they will be given $10,000. It's a ghost party. And we also met his wife, Abigail, and at the end of the last stream, which was on Friday, Abigail was found hanging. And so, now the exciting, hopefully, conclusion of the house on Haunted Hill.
For you. Pull the trigger. But I'm sorry, my dear, but it's too late now. You see, they're loaded. But I'm sorry, my dear, but it's too late. In spite of my wife's faith in my ability to do the impossible.
Nora. Your wife hanged herself. Your wife hanged herself.
You just press down on this lever with your thumb and then...
By a falling chandelier. I'm not afraid of your ghosts, Bridget, but I am afraid. I'm not afraid of your ghosts, Bridget, but I am afraid. One of us was almost killed by a falling chandelier. One of us was almost killed by a One of us was mysteriously slugged. And one of us is dead. And one of us is dead.
of you.
He looks at
Do you think your wife killed? Do you think your wife killed herself?
No. She was murdered by one of you.
who looks at Pritchard. He looks at Schroeder, who looks at Pritchard.
Suicide.
To deliberately kill someone, you must have a reason. To deliberately kill someone, you must have a reason.
He looks at Schroeder, who looks at Bruce, who looks at Bruce.
To deliberately kill someone, you must have a reason.
Only you had a motive for murder. Only you had a motive for murder.
But I am afraid.
What husband hasn't at some time wanted to kill his wife? What husband hasn't at some time wanted to kill his wife?
To spend one night in a gloomy old house. The fact remains that you, or one of us, murdered Mrs. Lauren. Why should even a millionaire want to give each of us $10,000 to spend one night in a gloomy old house? Why should even a millionaire want to give each of us $10,000 to spend one night in a gloomy old house? Do you think your wife killed herself?
Have you finished trying me, Doctor? Have you finished trying me, Doctor? And is the verdict guilty of murder? We were all strangers to your wife.
party?
Have you finished trying me, Doctor? And is the verdict guilty of murder? And is the verdict guilty of murder?
After you appeared at the window, everything began to work just as we had planned. But she will. From each other.
He tried to kill you, and he did kill his wife.
They aren't through with us yet. They aren't through with us yet.
Now, there must be a way out of this place, and I'm going to find it and get the police before he does. Now, there must be a way out of this place, and I'm going to find it and get the police before he does. Organ music. Organ music.
Did you hear anything?
Organ music.
We've done it.
us is guilty and the rest of us are innocent, okay?
Has she killed him? Has she killed him? Has she killed him? Has she killed him? Has she killed him?
Not yet. At first, I couldn't get Nora to want to protect herself with a gun. You were wonderful. Just the touch that finally drove her into complete hysteria. After you appeared at the window, everything began to work just as we had planned. After you appeared at the window, everything began to...
Where's Nora now? It'll be worth all of our planning, darling. Where's Nora now? It'll be worth all of our planning, darling.
After you appeared at the window, everything began to work just as we had planned.
Where's Nora now?
So scared she'll shoot the first thing that moves. On her way to the cellar. So scared she'll shoot the first thing that moves.
I apologize. I believe my camera may have cut out for a minute because I use my phone as a camera, and I think a call just came through. I'm going to have to start remembering to put my phone on Do Not Disturb mode. So give me one moment while I check my phone and hopefully make sure that the camera is working and everything, and make sure that there's not someone that urgently needs me. I'll be right back, and we're close to the end of these samples, so it might be a short stream today, but I'm hoping to start up tomorrow, maybe, with Invasion of the Body Snatchers, the 50s version. I'm editing it about halfway through, so, no promises, but almost definitely either tomorrow or Thursday we'll be back with Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but we have a little bit more. So let me just check on things real quick and I'll get back going. And yes, we found out, I haven't really done a great job of introducing the characters' names, but the doctor, who's one of the guests, we just found out is in league with Annabelle. She didn't really die. They staged it all to frame, not to frame. They staged it, it's very convoluted. They staged it all so that one of the other guests, Nora, is that her name? I think that's her name. Nora would kill Mr. Lauren out of hysteria, as they put it. The perfect crime. So we'll be back with the conclusion in one moment. Okay.
that finally drove her into complete hysteria. You were wonderful. Just the touch that finally drove her into complete hysteria.
Where's Nora now? Where's Nora now? What's happening?
She thinks Frederick attacked her in the cellar, not me. She thinks Frederick attacked her in the cellar, not me. But after you appeared at the window, everything began to work just as we had planned. Party gag. Nora is sure Frederick murdered you. But just a ghost party gag. But she will.
My suicide.
Just a ghost party gag. The heads, the music, you're hanging. I tell you when Frederick walks in there, she'll shoot him. The heads, the music, you're hanging. I tell you when Frederick walks in there, she'll shoot him.
It's taking too long. After you appeared at the window, everything began to work just as we had planned. It'll be worth all of our planning, darling.
The heads, the music, you're hanging. I tell you when Frederick walks in there, she'll shoot him.
It's taking...
When you hear the shot, come down to the cellar.
David?
Nora is sure Frederick murdered you.
That I was playing too. Only the victim.
Now Nora's almost out of her mind with fear. When you hear the shot, come down to the cellar. When you hear the...
David?
Trent and my wife. I'm ready for justice to decide. Trenton.
David?
The crime you two planned.
Nora is sure Frederick murdered you.
That I was playing.
And now Nora's almost out of her mind with fear.
Trenton, I can tell you all. You didn't shoot.
She fires. She fires. She fires. She fires.
Were planning to kill me. I loaded your gun with blanks. I'm ready for justice to decide if I'm innocent or guilty. That I was playing. The crime you two planned was indeed perfect. It's a pity you didn't know when you started your game of murder. That I was playing too. It's a pity you didn't. The crime you two planned was indeed perfect. That I was playing too.
I've shot Mr. Lorne. He's down in the wine cellar.
And now Nora's almost...
Trent and my wife were planning to kill me. Only the victim is alive and...
David?
The crime you two planned was indeed perfect. Only the victim is alive and the murderers are not.
Okay, well, that... I apologize for that. I have changed a number of things with the sound, trying to improve, and I should have fixed that because it was on the verge of doing feedback the whole stream. But anyway, I think I'm going to call it a stream here because that is all of the samples from. We have finished the House on Haunted Hill, Vincent Price 1959 movie. We finished that. But the day is young, and I do have a number of samples from the Invasion of the Body Snatchers ready to go, or soon be ready to go. It's a work in progress, so I am hoping to be back sooner rather than later. My best guess would be sometime tomorrow with Invasion of the Body Snatchers, but I've got to go. My wife and cat are doing something. I'm not quite sure what. I need to go see what's going on, but watch out for ghosts out there, and even more scary than ghosts, watch out for people and husbands, I guess, and wives.